It is likely that there are such things as sort of innate predispositions, personality traits that you're born with. Someone might be, for example, more aggressive than another person. Uh, it's certainly something to consider when looking at a person's personality. But I think the bulk of what you're talking about here are learned behaviors. You refer to them as flaws. I balk a little bit at talking about a person's behavior as a flaw. I tend to look at it instead as a resistance. That would be the Freudian term. It's a behavior that was developed as an adaptation to an early environment. And they always say in modern psychoanalysis, respect the resistance. What they mean is, understand that if a person is shy, that shyness may have developed as a sensible and maybe very necessary adaptation to an early experience, an early environment in which they grew up. So if you grew up in a world in which you had maybe a punishing or sort of tempestuous household, parents who could snap at you or something along those lines, being shy may have been a sensible adaptation. It may have made sense to become shy, to learn that behavior in order to survive. So you have to respect that people learn behaviors for a good reason, and understand that these aren't necessarily flaws. They're just behaviors that made sense in one environment and may have become self-sabotaging in another one. So I'm going to say that innate, the problem with saying that one of these behaviors is an innate characteristic, blaming it on nature or assigning it to nature rather than nurture, is that it implies that it's unchangeable. And if there's anything we know about human behavior and human beings in general, it's that they're profoundly changeable, that they do change. The way they change is not by sort of being told to change or forced to change or anything along those lines, but being made aware. The more aware we are of our behavior, the more likely we are to change it on our own. So, rather than say it's innate, sorry, you were born shy, and that's that, you're a shy person, I would say, you probably developed shyness as a sensible, necessary adaptation to a childhood environment. And now that you're no longer in that environment, you can become conscious of your shyness and how it's playing out, what effect it's having on other people, what effect it's having ultimately on your life. And we can just make you aware of it. And at that point, if you decide to, you can change it. Now, psychotherapy is about awareness. It's not about change. The change comes from within. If you tell somebody that they're sitting in a pot, of water over a fire, generally they'll jump out. And that's kind of how therapy works. What you do is you allow somebody through a whole lot of different techniques to be aware of these flaws, whatever, these resistances or these learned behaviors, and to understand why they developed the way they did. And then you give them the opportunity to change, to take a risk, take a chance on living a little differently.